Thank you, Kevin McLeod, for making that beautiful tune there that Ian
Yes.
changed up.
Yeah. Which was
Welcome, everyone.
soon we'll switch over to if Frank gets antsy to do any more music work, he can get
Get
started on an intro. You
get
know.
some grooves going. Yes, yeah. So, welcome to episode
39.
39 of the TNT podcast.
Yes. And by the way, I still didn't rip the last episode or so from your channel, so it's gonna look like we skipped a couple episodes.
Yeah, until we post it, you can go and check out my channel, Hot54 Chevy, at YouTube, and check out last week's episode. Um, but anyway,
Yeah. Well,
so
this is the first time I had my new computer is it's still being worked on, and this is the first time I was able to get one of my old computers back set up because my apartment was in disarray still for a little while because shit just gets more complicated than it needs to be. That's how life. That's what life is.
yes, a bunch of shit everywhere.
Yes.
That is life. So what's been going on with Ian?
Um, Dealing with that shit pretty much. Next.
Gotta get your place presentable so you can bring home bitches.
Well, I mean, like I was telling you off air, I plan on at least in a couple weeks getting the motherboard and maybe some RAM. I'd like to do the case also, but we'll see how money is then for a new Ryzen build.
Mm. Rising up.
If you were to if you had to start your Ryzen build, would you just wait till you could buy everything, or would you part everything out just to make sure you had it? Like if you couldn't buy everything all in a row, you know?
Well, I pieced together the build I want online with the parts, and then I just would buy. I could either do it all at once if I had the cash, like how I built mine and how I'm gonna build my next one. Probably is just Christmas money that I knew I had X amount of dollars, so here's my budget.
Yeah.
But if the parts go up and down all the time, so you kind of just got to watch how the shit goes if you're going to buy it a piece at a time, because some stuff's on sale for retarded cheap for no fucking reason. Like
Yeah.
SSDs went down recently because they made it cheaper to make the larger SSDs, so the price of the smaller ones went down because duh, no one's going to fucking buy the small ones, and you just got to pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, it depends on the part, but I suppose theoretically, if you waited, uh, or if you parted it out, you would probably spend more money in the long term because things should theoretically go down in price. But like I said, depending on the part, that's not always the case. Like RAM seems like it went up in the past few years or something.
Right, RAM is stupid. It's just, I mean, because hard drives, physical storage has gone down, but RAM, which is random access memory, has gone up. So
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Even the flash memory is going down.
Yeah, it's storage is going down. GPUs are kind of going down. They're the thing that depreciates the most, especially on a build like what you and I would want, like content creation and gaming, where you're going to
Yeah.
need mostly beefy graphics cards. That's the car that will depreciate as soon as you drive it off the lot. If I went out,
Well, I haven't even installed the card, and they already came out with that 580.
right,
You know.
right, you bought it. Well, you bought a refurb, so it was cheaper, and then right, wasn't a refurb or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, no, it wasn't refurbed. It was an open box, so
Open box, okay.
it should have been fine.
But yeah, it was discounted, is what I'm saying. So then
Yeah.
you got the newer versions that came out for, well, see, the newer ones are technically cheaper than the older ones, because the 580s were like $10 on average cheaper than the 480s, and the 480s apparently people are still buying them because they can just overclock it and
Yeah.
almost get a 580 out of it, because just like AMD did with their CPUs in the pile driver. I mean, not pile driver, in the bulldozer series, like the FX chips that we have. It was basically the same architecture. They just clocked it differently, and that's also what they're saying is the problem with Ryzen. People are, well, I could just get the cheaper chip and then overclock it and it run the same. That's what they're doing with the GPUs, to where some guys are even flashing the BIOS to the 580 BIOS and sometimes bricking the graphics card in the process.
Right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get the kind of discount that I did for the 500 series because it was too new, you know. That
Right. Well, we still got, Vega isn't even out yet. So if you were to upgrade, both, you'd have to, wait for that to come out any fucking way and see what they're gonna go for.
yeah,
So, because that's the thing I'm looking forward to upgrading most, because I want more monitors, and I only have ports for 3. So instead of getting a 480 or 580 and then Vega coming out and being pissed off, I think I'm gonna. Remember, I told you I was gonna get a PC stick.
yeah.
I think I'll end up getting all the monitors I want and then using one with the PC stick, because have you ever heard of Mouse Without Borders?
No.
It's a free program from Microsoft for Windows where you can you basically put a server on one computer, and then it treats each different computer as an extended display. So you can mouse to it, you can even copy paste, and you can apparently drag and drop files and folders.
Oh, that's cool.
So if it's a Windows 10 machine, I can load up Kodi on it and get it all set up. So by the time the new graphics card comes out, I'll be able to unplug the stick and just hook it up to my TV that I was going to use it for anyway, and then put in the new GPU, and I should be good to go. And
Yeah.
then if there's ever a problem on that computer, I shouldn't have to hook up another keyboard, because if I can figure out a way to mirror it on one of these monitors, I can see what I'm doing and I can just mouse over it with this and do whatever. So
Right. Yeah,
otherwise,
I don't know.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I said otherwise I'd have to have someone in the next room going, okay, your mouse is on it. Okay, double click. Oh, you're too far.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my plan. I do the way I do things. I am a little OCD in that I categorize things, but not in a way that makes fucking sense. Like all the parts, I have multiple part builds for computers that I'm never gonna actually fucking build, just to find the one that's within the budget at the right time. And then, like, the little upgrade shit, I have a budget of Christmas money from last Christmas I haven't spent yet, that I've been like, okay, if I get this, this, and this will all be within the budget. Or I could get 3 of these and say, fuck this thing. So
Yeah.
Christmas will either be a Ryzen build slash NAS upgrade or a new chair. I really want to get like a Herman Miller or something.
Yeah.
But a Herman Miller starts at $1,200.
Well,
So.
right. Well, another reason that I'm doing this is just like because of this whole situation that I've been, without a decent computer. I wanted to at least have this, my current new computer. I think is probably still too good just to be able just to have a NAS computer running all the time. So I'd if I want to do an NAS build, I think I would build a third computer that I just keep on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is I just want to have a secondary, like maybe like a video editing or something, at least backup computer.
Right. Gotcha.
But I was gonna say, did you? I didn't do it for the news, I don't think, but did you see that there's a news article about? I think with the new version of Windows Server, they're gonna do like some kind of Linux subsystem or something with it.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, you should research that now. I mean, I could try finding the link on the phone here for you, but
Server Linux subsystem. Hold on. Ars Technica.
yeah, probably
Let me
I saw that one.
Windows Server will add the Linux subsystem. Join the Insider program. Officially, it's so Linux admin scripts can run on Windows. I'd heard what's his name, Wendell talking about it because he's a big Linux guy about how like Bash scripts and stuff are working and
Yeah,
Seattle. When Microsoft first introduced the Windows subsystem for Linux at last year's Build Developers Conference, it said that it was doing so to make developers who were familiar with the Linux command line feel comfortable on Windows. The immediate and inevitable question was, well, what about Windows Server? Development is one thing, but what if organizations want to occasionally deploy their Linux servers on Windows? Although Windows Server 2016 and Windows 10 share many components, the server operating system hasn't thus far included WSL consistent with the developer-only rationale. That's going to change. At Build this week, Microsoft announced that WSL will be included in server later this year. I I think where the hell's the button to stop screen share? There it is. I think a lot of people are probably going to be wanting to swing towards Linux soon or Mac because of that whole bullshit with the ransomware.
oh yeah,
I mean,
I do. That is one of my articles here. Getting
yes.
ahead of ourselves.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It would behoove them to employ some Linux gurus and or Microsoft or Apple whatever's to just especially on an industrial level. I understand they want to go cheap, so that's why they went with fucking Windows. But hospitals, I don't understand.
Yeah. What about you, buddy? What you been up to though?
Well, sir, I keep telling myself I'm going to stay up late and play games and tinker, and I I'm so fucking tired. It's like it's stupid. I fall asleep right after we get done talking, and then I say, "Well, I got all day tomorrow," and then I sleep all fucking day, and I don't. And the only thing I have time to do the entire weekend is mow the grass. So
Uh,
I'm gonna try to drink copious amounts of caffeine to try to stay awake.
did you try that Do USA?
Yeah, it's like they said, it's a bunch of flavors mixed together.
I think it tastes like some kind of berry cereal
It's most
carbonation.
if it's mostly voltage. I think if you had voltage, it's a lateral move. It's not a upgrade or a downgrade. It's a side grade.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I'm drinking Surge right now because I have so many of them.
You have a
Um,
surge of surge.
yes. Well, I went to the store because I used to order Surge on Amazon and Soda Talk with Frank and Ian. I used to
Yes.
order Surge on Amazon, and for a case, it was like $9, which was okay. But then they stopped stocking it on Prime Pantry, and that left the few people that sold it, and they would be stupid and sell one can for $20. I'm like, are you stupid? So I just would go to the dollar store and buy a can for $1. I bought I think it was like 12 cans, and the kid that worked there he saw I was wearing my Fallout shirt, like one of my Fallout shirts, and he's like, "Oh man, that's my favorite game." We talked for like 10 minutes about the Bethesda series of games, and when I got up to the register, he's like, "Oh man, we got a coupon. I'll save you some money." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I've got a whole pile of them. I've been drinking them on the weekends when we do the show. Um, but yeah, I mean, just a lot of work, tinkering around. Like I said, I've bought two books by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Uh,
Really?
I've been watching interviews with him, and he's very entertaining, very smart, and I have time to read at work. So like on my lunch hour, I've ordered one to come hardback, his newest book, and then I also got the Kindle edition of Death by Black Hole. So
What's what's that about? Like what it's like to die in a black hole?
no, it's just a bunch of different topics. He's an astrophysicist by trade, but he discusses things in the universe. And the newest book he has is Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. So
Really?
it's people who don't have a lot of time to sit down and read stuff. He basically goes over some astrophysics for you in a couple minutes, just whatever time you have to sit down. And it's like it's not watered down or anything; it's actual astrophysics. So that's really
Hmm.
cool. I'm looking forward to reading that. I haven't started yet. But so I've been doing that. Like I said, plotting out my future spending. I'm waiting for our local IKEA to open. It's slated to open in June, and I'm going to go with my father and wife probably in July because I want them to have some clearance items. My wife actually, we were talking on the show before when I was running late. We took my mother-in-law out for. She took us out for dinner for Mother's Day, and then we went to the hardware store and picked up some light bulbs. And my wife got a saw set. She got a sawzall, a drill, and a electric screwdriver set, and it's all cordless. And it was on clearance for under $200. So you could get it was Bosch, so it was a name brand. It wasn't like cheap Chinese no name. It was like there's the DeWalt's, which are like $500 a set, or you get this thing for under two. Let's get the under 200. So, but I want to get the most value for what I can. Um,
Right.
and I don't. I got to get the desk before I get anything else because I don't. I've already got too much shit sitting around here in this fucking room. Uh, I've cleaned stuff up and I almost threw away some boxes, and then I realized, well, if I end up getting a new graphics card, I don't want to throw away the box because what am I going to put it in?
Right.
Because I would like to take the graphics card out of this and put it in NAS whenever I build one. But if I do that, where's it going to go for however many months that is? So I'm going to have to store some boxes and crush them. Like my monitor boxes, I'm going to get rid of because I'm not RMAing an eBay monitor. So
I,
and
I RMA like a $1 item.
well, this monitor that I'm on now, I got it was an open box. I think it was a refurb actually from Canada on eBay, and it's warranty. I actually registered it on LG's website, and they're like, "Hey, your warranty is going to expire. You can sign up for extended." Nah, not paying a couple $100 for a $300 monitor. I'll just buy another one, dog.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I'm
this
still waiting on my rebate for my uh
oh, you're gonna wait a while.
480.
Yeah, the rebates suck.
Yeah.
I missed one on my motherboard. There was a rebate. I just missed it by a couple days. I ended up having to. I got a rebate on my graphics card, but not my motherboard. I was pissed.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, I'm just wanting to get some stuff. I just have to get everything in order. I've got to measure out how much space I have available for this new desk and see what I can move around to make it work. Because I want one with drawers. Because I got stuff and I want to be able to put away stuff so it's not always out. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a new monitor mount that lets me stack my monitors, but I'm not taking this thing apart and putting it on this desk because that's a waste of fucking time. Because if my monitors are
Right.
stacked, then I can't get to the tower, and if I can't get to the tower and do anything, then what's the fucking point? Because if I have to change something out or unplug something, that's it. I can't do it. So
Yeah.
And this thing is a pain in the ass to get out because it's heavy. I just actually threw away a dresser that I've had since before I met my wife. I had it in my closet in the back, and I when I cleaned out the closet a little bit, well, the cubby to put my shit from this room in there, I took it out, and it's been out on our porch for like a month, our covered porch. And I said, well, I'll go ahead and put it out. Put it on the curb. It was gone the next day. I mean, it was a good dresser. I don't think the store that I bought it from is around anymore, but it was still solid. Like it was bolted together, and when I dragged it out of there, the only thing that was flapping was the little cardboard on the back, and that's because it was two pieces, and I put nails around the corners, and I didn't nail it in the middle because it was against the wall. So who gave a shit? But
Right.
and that in the bottoms started to warp because they're just that thin particle board. It was like not MDF, but like real thin. I don't know, cardboard, I guess. It was like warping and ripping, so I got rid of it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, so you did get the monitor arm then finally.
well, yeah, I got that right after I ordered it. It was like not even a couple days. It's I
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. I know you were. I remember when I talked to you, you were waiting on it.
Yeah, I ordered it on say like Thursday, and I think I got it Friday night or Monday, or I mean, sorry, Saturday. I think it's Saturday. That was it. Like right after we did the show, I went downstairs and it was sitting on my porch. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have at least two monitors going this way. I want to do another ultra wide. Hopefully they come down in price some more because they went from flat to curved, and I thought the flat ones could get cheaper, but they're staying the fucking same price. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You could pay $700 for a curved 34-inch, or you could pay $300 for a flat one. So I'm trying to decide if I want to get a 25-inch and stick it under the 34 or 29. I'm leaning towards 29. But then I also want two on the side. I'm thinking either 229s or 225s. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to do any of that until I have a new desk to put them at. Because this is the end of my desk right here. You can see it on camera. That's it.
Right.
That's the end of my desk right there. So another monitor, and I would run into it. But I also want a new set of headphones, new speakers. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'd I'd like to up my monitor game too, but I just been money just been sinking into like 3D printers and
yeah,
computer components and shit.
right. Hey, I had to buy a new motherboard because I screwed mine up. Luckily, my motherboard the new one was only $100, and it was only a little bit not as good as the FX uh, uh, 990 FX one. That one was better than the 970 Aurora, just a little bit in features, just a little bit. The
It I noticed they came out with an 8370. When
Yes,
I was looking for Ryzen, I came across that.
yes, they did it right before that Ryzen came out. I think they had the 80
That's
the
interesting.
well they had the 8350s like I've got and you've got, and then they
Yeah,
had like the 83 what was it like 30 or something like that, and
yeah,
then the big one the 95 whatever, which everyone hates because it just uses up a lot of juice, and
yeah.
then the 70 for whatever reason. I don't know like what they were going for with that. I think they were trying to say, look, it doesn't use as much power. And you're like, it doesn't fucking matter. We're just gonna overclock the shit out of it anyway. So,
Well, all
instead
these are pretty much 8350s that are overclocked.
yeah, even the 95. The 95 just handles better because you can overclock the A350 to the same. It's just you're more likely to fry it. But
Yeah,
and I guess the 95 whatever uses more electricity out of the box, higher voltage or whatever. But I mean, I'm waiting to see which Ryzen ends up being the best. I'll probably go with whatever's best for multitasking, like you said. Um, Vega is where I'm mostly sitting, hoping and waiting. Supposedly, there in the next couple of months, CES is going to happen, and that'll be where it'll come out. Supposedly, but who fucking knows? And then, I don't know if you saw my post. Did you see that they're supposedly saying that Vega might be limited to only like 16,000 units or something at launch?
Uh, yeah, I saw that you. I saw your link there.
Well, it's like I'm not worried about it because I'm clearly not gonna buy it when it first comes to fuck out anyway. I'm gonna wait a little while because drivers aren't gonna work. There's gonna be bugs. Jay's gonna get on and say, "Guys, just wait. AMD's gonna fix it. There's this problem. They know about it."
Well,
I'm gonna wait.
if they do run out, you could always use that that one news article that I linked you. Did you see that?
No, is it time for the news yet, Ian? Since we're
Not yet.
okay.
Spoiler alert. It was some Vega APUs.
Oh, you mean a Xbox Scorpio?
No. Well, I don't. They might put them in Scorpio, but they're gonna come out with new Ryzen APUs with Vegas
Oh, my
in the APU or whatever.
my I have a coworker that's a Xbox fanboy, Stupid Floyd. If he's listening, he's not. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have 6 teraflops." I'm talking about the Project Scorpio, and I'm like, "Okay, do you know what Ryzen starts at?" No, I said it starts at 12, and it can go up to 23. Oh, but that's not too bad, right, for a console? Yeah, okay. So whatever, guy. And it's going to be announced eventually at some point later in the day. Yeah, okay. And I can change mine out just by going, yeah, that's nice. Take it out. I don't have to take the CPU out because I told them, I'm like, no matter how great your thing is, it's still an APU. It's built into your CPU. You don't have a graphics card, right, on the Xbox.
Right.
So
No.
I mean, I'll have a dedicated card for that. You can't,
Yeah.
but plus it depends on if the game's optimized. But anyway,
Well, it would be nice though for I was thinking for some, like a NAS build or something where you just need access to the files.
hmm yeah, I mean, like I told you, I just
Keep your
want.
shit small in case.
Whoa, I was just gonna get like I said, a PC stick for a Kodi box basically, because Android, as soon as you buy an Android, it's like, oh, by the way, now you can't update anymore. Got to get new
Yeah.
hardware. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So
But not I mean like your NAS because you're not really gonna be on that much, are you?
no, I mean, not really, but I can. I don't know. I uh I just want something other. I want something that's neater and cleaner than like 4 or 5 external drives daisy chained on the floor.
Yeah.
That's a pain in the ass. 'Cause those things come unplugged. I got tired of hearing doo 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 doo.
Yeah.
That shit gets annoying.
It's like music, a melody.
Yeah, and then the Mac, they're all plugged into my Mac at the moment, and that one like just goes, please eject before disconnecting. I'm like, yeah, and I can never tell which one it was, so I just unplug all of them and plug them all back in, or I just shut the power supply off to all of them and turn it back on because it never actually unplugged. It just thought it did for some fucking reason. But anyway,
Yeah. What did you want to get into next segment? I think we should call our next segment here like tech check, where we check out just like tech setups and stuff. You know.
that sounds like a cool term there, sir.
Um,
Here.
did you get my both of my emails for the news and that?
Yes, yes, it did.
Okay.
Can you see my screen here?
Yeah. Let me set you as a primary here. Okay.
This looks
Oh,
like
no,
the
that's me.
background on Cody. Like someone made this. Like this is a render. This isn't even a dude's house.
Yeah. I was going for some crazy ones here, but
Now is that a projector or a monitor or a screen? I mean, like
I don't know. It's pretty bright for a projector, actually.
well, that and the black around the edges there. I would think that if it was a projector, it would go all the way around instead of I
I wonder
don't
if people do like custom like rear projections,
rear projection.
well, like where it they just have a normal projector, but it projects behind the screen, so it's like you get like a custom made like frame and stuff for the material and shit.
Uh,
I don't know, but
hold on.
I mean it's it's interesting, I suppose.
Check that out. I want to show you this one real quick. This makes me think of Zeus made this. That's a projection screen in his living room.
Oh, okay.
He's got speakers next to it, and that's a rental, by the way.
A
Okay,
rental.
this is famous YouTuber Zeus Pantera's little. He did a series on. He made a projector screen. So if you're going to do it yourself, he made a. I don't know if that's like nylon or whatever, but he made a frame, and then the arms that are holding it down are like they have actual like um, actuators like in a car, like to prop it up. I don't know if you can see right here, little arms. This is aluminum that's been bracketed and bolted to the fucking wood that's bolted to the walls. Um,
Hmm.
and it flips down. He's got a TV behind here, but then he, like I said, he puts his projectors on the other wall, and it projects all the way around. See, that's why I was saying this guy that you just showed me. Whoops. It doesn't. Damn it! Come on. I don't want the comments. It doesn't go all the way around. It goes kind of black in the corners and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas this is the whole thing. And if you actually like put something white around the corners, you'll see like the extra screen. He has to like move it around. But
Yeah.
so
Are
this
you all about the no bezels trend?
um my monitor has bezels. Like there's part of the screen that doesn't have plastic, but the screen is still black, so it still looks like there's bezel. Um, I prefer less bezel or bezel less, but I will take.
Like an infinity type of screen now they're doing for the phones.
Yeah, I mean, a phone scares the shit out of me because all it takes is one drop. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
it looks cool. If you could pull it off, I mean, like I said, that guy's set up there. I would, if I could have that just for a regular TV. Problem is, it has to be dark all the time. You can't walk around in the middle of the day and watch the news on that big ass projected screen. TV, yeah, you could. So
A lot of man caves are dark. Usually they're
yeah, yeah,
all
it's a cave.
lit artificially, you know.
dragging our fucking knuckles.
A lot of times they're in basements and like the
Right.
custom areas or whatever
where
of the
where the
house.
wife where the wife kicked his ass out. Some guy, have you seen those guys? They have like a little shed in their backyard, and
Yeah.
like they that's where the dude from Pimp My Setup, Swashin or whatever his name is on YouTube, that he has a shed. He does his show out of that. So he still lives with his parents, I think. So,
Mm.
but so this guy that you sent me the link to here, he's got a nice, I'm gonna click it and get the info here. See if we can find out if that's a screen. Fuck you. That is all. Projector looks really nice. Someone says. Is this the user here? Don't ban me, bro. Okay. Yep. Don't ban me, bro.
Don't ban me, bro.
One piece of advice as far as a projector setup goes is get a screen. You can get away with projecting on a bare wall, but the black border is what gives such a sharp, contrasting image. Oh. So yeah, that is a projector. He just put a border up to make it stand out.
Hmm.
I'll be damned. Yeah, someone says, "Holy crap, it's a projector! Nice." So someone says,
Yeah.
"What TV is that? Holy shit, that is big." It says it's a projection screen. The screen is 100 inches diagonally. It's a BenQ fucking projector. Jesus, that's got to cost money.
Yeah.
Let me
Those
Google it.
that BenQ shit is pretty expensive, isn't it?
Well, let's see. On Amazon right now, you could get that for the low price of $739.
That's
So
all.
yeah, without the expert setup, expert setup is $225 extra. And
Yeah, they have that for like a screw or something on there.
right.
Do you want an expert setup to put the screw into your computer?
No. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, he's got a nice projector. I can see every little bit of everything. The problem with a lot of projectors is they look washed out. This looks, perfectly balanced and everything's where it should be. You can see the detail in like the cat girl's hair. Um,
Yeah, I remember I was talking to an old friend like a long time ago, and me and him were talking about how it would be cool, and I think scientists were trying to work on it. The idea of being able to theoretically project dark light so it takes away from the light,
uh-huh,
that would be pretty cool because then you could project blacks then.
uh-huh. Porn. Okay. But yeah, this is pretty nice.
I
This
really like that one, but that one's actually not my favorite one, and I think you'll probably be able to tell which one is my favorite,
All right. And then this guy here,
just for lighting.
it's a little blurry, but it looks like he's got the theater seats with the cup holders built in.
Yeah,
And
I included this one for you because this one's a little bit more modest, and I know you do tend to like the more modest, simple ones.
well, yeah, but it's a little. It looks like he literally just had his family room and then stuck some shit in it. Because like
Yeah.
he's got his fucking dumbbells here, and like this dining room chair that's like there for no fucking reason, and this ugly ass couch. What's he watching there? Is he watching the fire from the couch? It's
Right.
I don't know what's going on here. Look at the sailboats, honey. Don't pay attention to the TV. I mean,
Actually, this one was one taken from like a list of like 10 or 15 like most awesome like home theater setups. The first one was just from like the Reddit post or whatever,
oh,
random Reddit shit.
and then what here? What do you got? Pinterest.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm opening this in a new window to see if it even fucking works. Oh, this is a public relations marketing community. No, thank you. So, yeah, can you see this shit?
Yeah.
This is the site that the guy supposedly got it from. Don't give a fuck about them. Fuck you. So I can't blow it up any
Can
bigger.
can you right click on view image or something like that?
Uh, where's well, because if I do open, it just takes me to that bullshit caster site. Uh, let me search Google for this image.
Okay.
See if that does anything. Large. I mean, at least pull it up larger. Oh, also basementremodeling.com.
Yeah, it took me a while just to be able to get through that shit because they kept bugging me. Hey, why don't you use our Pinterest app instead?
I hate Pinterest. I know people that like it. The posts on there are okay, but the way it's laid out blows ass, and it always wants you to like use the app, which is not intuitive at all and stupid. You gotta go through a rabbit hole to just find groups of shit you want to look at. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what like. Okay,
You should be able to click on view image too, or
well,
whatever,
I mean,
so that
I am,
should
but
blow it up. There you go.
like, okay, so that's a big ass. I'm guessing projector, but like, what the hell is this here? Music movie jukebox. Is that what he's controlling it with?
That'd be cool.
There's Xbox like original Xbox controller there. See that round thing?
Yeah.
And then a Xbox 360 controller. And then a clock over here in the corner, I guess. So it's like, Jesus, you've been staring at this thing for 2 hours. Um, and then two sets of couches or two seats and then a couch behind it. Um, but I mean, really, who's gonna do this? I mean, it's pimp. Don't get me wrong, but like that little kiosk thing there on the coffee table reminds me of when you go out to eat and they're like, "Hey, have you seen our new system? Here's how you pay."
Yeah.
Talking
Well,
about
right.
well, like one of those
Right.
things when you go to the gas station, you can like, I don't know, look, it looks out of place, but you know, I
Well, I'm guessing that it's just some kind of custom interface or something for it.
uh, I'm gonna have to Google some shit. So talk about it while I
But
movie jukebox. There we go.
well, I I just thought I'd include it because I'm not. It didn't. There wasn't that much emphasis on the actual like home theater equipment as much as the atmosphere of the place. So that's sort of like why I like that one with the lighting, because you can tell they had like the LED lighting around the
Oh
border
yeah.
and stuff. So
Well, apparently, dude, this thing is a bullshit. Uh, like a Cody kind of app,
hmm,
but it has IMDb and fucking all this bullshit. That's just like Cody. So that's close this. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It's cool. It looks like a hotel where you're staying at because there's like the breakfast bar right there, I guess. But boy, it's a awful lot. Like I would like to see the bedroom and just sleep on the bed. That's as pimp as the TV set is. I'd rather sleep.
yeah,
Um, so I'll go ahead and close the initial one you gave me here because it's all teeny tiny. It's kind of tiny. So you gave me the three, right?
yeah. I just gave you three.
I'll bet your favorite is the movie jukebox place
Yeah,
because it's plush. It's
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming like if that's not like a somebody's home and that's just some kind of, because that looks like is that supposed to be the kitchen there, or is that like a
um
bar or something?
yeah, I think it's a bar because what? Because I'm pretty sure this is like a fridge right here. I'm thinking.
Right.
I mean, I really don't know because I'm not fucking there. But
You see
if I,
that if it's not somebody in somebody's home, then that's like a
yeah, I mean, if it was somebody's home, they wouldn't have all these lights and flowers and shit because no guy really gives a fuck. This
right.
is this is flowers. This is for some guy taking a girl back and say, "Hey, baby, look at these flowers. Look at this." And they got shit on the counter, baby. Take the little soap home. Put it in your purse. We'll take it home. That's right, baby. Now look over here at my giant television set. That's not mine. So
Um.
I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool. I'd crash in it. I'd sit there the entire time. I'd be like, so the people who own this place ain't coming back yet, right? I'm not gonna get in trouble, right? I mean, you and me, we're gonna just watch a little television and play some Xbox, and then we got to leave. Like, that's what I think. But
Yeah.
so let me guess. Your favorite one has got to be the pimp one, and then your second favorite is this one, and third you're going for dude's living room.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be my order, but like I said, maybe the third one, the actual tech isn't as like probably good as like the first one. So
no, this is I mean, he's got all his gear over here by like he's got a little hi-fi setup and shit. It probably is awesome, but it's not in use, so it's not as presentable. It's like right before he's like, okay, I gotta turn the lights off so I can go upstairs. Hey, let me snap a picture, and all he's missing is his thumb in the picture. That's and then this is
see, if
like,
Doug was here, he'd be like, "Look at that minimalist bullshit."
yeah, fucking weeb. What are you talking about? What do you mean weeb? And they'd say, oh, fucking Avatar, the fucking, and they'd say something stupid.
Dude, that he wasn't making sense. Like that wasn't actually normal Doug. Like Doug is pretty crazy, but like he was kind of different that week, man.
Yeah, he's special. I would go. I like I said, if I like had a house that they said, okay, we're gonna come and add a room to your house, and this is what's gonna be in it for free. Well, fuck yeah, I'd want this thing. I mean, I want to just lay on that couch. I don't.
Yeah.
It looks like you lay on it, goes, and you go, yeah. Let me lay down on this, yeah. And then granted, these are movie theater seats. All that means is he paid a little more for them. I mean,
Yeah.
the screen. He could have got a bigger fucking screen. I'm sorry. That's like, I understand he's probably a baller on a budget, but and like the stack of like what are those old VHS tapes in a basket next to all the sailboats. And I'm assuming this is an older setup because I think this is a monitor down here in front of the seat there. Because I'm assuming this is where everything's ran. Just assuming. I don't have any article to go back on. Let me search Google for this image, and then it might bring up the article.
You know what's crazy is like actually like a lot of rich people they don't update their shit for a long time. Like they'll have like older like they spend like a lot of money on their home theaters and stuff, but they don't really upgrade them for a long time because they're just like content with it and they don't like change it for a long time.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Basically, I mean,
yeah.
I've been slowly getting into the audiophile world, and a lot of their stuff is the same. If you can find a hi-fi setup from between the 70s and the 80s, that's like you're familiar with that what was that stupid movie with was it Christian Slater where he plays a crazy guy? American Psycho.
Mm.
Okay, you remember his music setup in that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, big ass, glass cabinet full of stereo equipment. People still want that today. And you can't go in the store and buy that shit, really. I mean, if you go to Best Buy, you might be able to find it. But like, the higher grade stuff, you got to go to like audio shows and like pay extra, retarded money. This guy, like I said, it looks like he spent a little money on this. He's probably got a surround system that you can't see behind him.
Right.
If my friends had this for like Super Bowl night, it'd be pretty dope. But I wouldn't go, man, put that in my house. I want that chair that looks like you were just giving your friend's brother a haircut. A yoga mat and barbells. We just got done working out.
Yeah.
This one looks like they set it up for the picture and they don't actually use it, but I want to use it.
Yeah.
And there's guitars, so yeah. I mean,
if I was rich enough to buy those theater seats, but I could only fit 4 theater seats in a room, I wouldn't get the theater seats. I would just get a giant comfy couch, that wraps around everywhere.
get a comfy couch, and then you just lay back and you watch it. You know, if you got 4 people that are going to be sitting that fucking close, I mean, a couch is fine. Or, I mean,
Yeah, you can lay down and shit. Like if there's enough room for a person to lay down on one of the sections, you know. I mean,
yeah, that's how our couch is. We got a big couch like that. We got a sectional.
yeah.
My wife loves the couch. I can't get out of the bed. I'm sorry, because it's small. She can lay down on it and she's fine. I can't do that. I'm still big enough where I
Mm,
fall off the fucking couch. I'm like, sorry, honey. Unless I'm sitting on the end, because we got one of those extended ends. It's like a L-shaped couch. And if I'm
yeah,
on the one end, I can lay down, but I still can't get comfortable. I'm like, I'm going up to the bed. The bed is memory foam. This couch is not. So,
yeah.
but
I know like a lot of people like to do where like you lay down and then like your girl would lay on you while you're watching something.
now you're asking pornography. What the hell? Our listeners don't care about pornography. I apologize, everybody, for this dirty, dirty man. Dirty, dirty man.
Yeah, I wonder what it'd be like if Micro Center had like their own custom IKEA section like
Then,
they do for the Apple section.
well, they have Micro Center has that build your own PC section,
Yeah,
and that's basically the same thing. Where it's like, hey, here's monitors, here's towers, go nuts. I I
right.
I I went in there with the shopping cart like I was at Walmart. So
Yeah. Well, so what's your order? Mine was 3 and 1 and 2.
same.
You would say the same?
Yeah,
Oh,
as
okay.
nice as this is, it looks small in contrast to this. This I could walk up to the screen and still lay down.
Yeah.
It doesn't look, and this is just this is some guy bought him some chairs and a nice TV. I don't I but okay, we got another guy coming for the game. Well, he's gonna sit on the shitty wood chair that we brought in from the dining room. I hope he doesn't really want to get too close.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That one reminds me of the Great Outdoors because didn't they have like a lot of decorations and stuff like that in that cabin that they were in.
I don't know. So
What can you go to the back to the Pinterest thing because there should be like a username or something on that shit.
no.
I give you the link straight for the Pinterest.
Yeah, and I closed that shit. Look how many emails I got, dog. I got inbox for days, dog.
Yeah, me too.
I got more. I don't care how many you got.
Now I was thinking we should eventually too get some music for this because it's a pretty big segment on here. So
Right, a good chunk. Okay, well, I mean, I'm working on a show theme. I need to work on a uh, little bit of snippet of something for here. So
yeah, it's something else you could tinker around with maybe, you know.
yeah, well, I got my keyboard working again. So for some reason, the registration for the plugins stopped working, and then it started working again. So I don't understand it. But oh yeah,
Shit.
because the software, I had to re-download the. They actually have software to just manage your licenses, and that expired. I had to get a new program. So, is it time for the news?
Um, oh, let me see if I could click on the Pinterest thing here. Yeah, no, I don't want to open that Pinterest app.
Yeah, my inbox. I have 24,685 emails. I'm not digging for whatever you said.
Right.
I don't read my emails. I get too many. If they really want to get in touch with me, they'll call my ass or send me a text message.
Um,
You can't
what's
find that
this?
shit either, huh?
No, I got it. I'm trying to look for the name. It said Jimmy Bell Bellman saved to family room theater.
See, that's just the guy who saved it from. Apparently, it said he saved it from that Carter's website or whatever it was, and then when I Google searched the damn image, it came back finishedbasement.com or some bunch of different websites. So it's like a publicity shot at this point. So we don't
Yeah.
know who the originator is. So sorry, man. You're often imitated and apparently duplicated because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know who took the actual picture.
But anyways, yeah, we could I suppose we could get onto that. Uh,
What you doing, Ian?
yeah, but you haven't heard this in a while.
The news with Ian. Also Frank.
Let me take this earbud out because it's hurting my ear having both on.
Aw, sorry, bud. Waka waka.
And that actually, I don't know why that hurts so much having the earbud in, but then having the headphones over it. And these are pretty soft; they don't push that hard on your ear.
All right, soft ears. Which story did you want to go with first here?
Well, sir, we could go with the order that I gave them to you in.
Well, okay, I just opened them. I don't know which order it opened the tab. So
Oh,
yeah. And
okay.
I'm not going to my inbox.
Right. I got you. Oh yeah, the pray for the gods.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Pray for the gods changes name to avoid fight with Bethesda's Prey update. Oh shit! I thought that's what this was. I didn't realize. Kickstarter project Pray for the Gods has undergone a name change. Now titled Pray, Praey, for the Gods, developer No Matter Studios has no problem naming names in a newsletter about the reason for the game's new title. So we didn't want to do this, but we had to change our game name from Pray for the Gods to Pray for the Gods. The No Matter Studios team wrote. Thankfully, we get to keep the logo, but we still spell it Pray for the Gods. No Matter Studios said that ZeniMax Media, parent company of Bethesda Softworks and owner of the Prey trademark, opposed its trademark application after it was submitted last May. In January, the developer abandoned its filing for Pray for the Gods, unwilling to fight ZeniMax Media over the title. With a reboot of the cult classic Prey launching later this week, it makes sense that ZeniMax Media would be especially protective of its trademark. For a much smaller crowdfunded project that has yet to enter the closed alpha stage, fighting back to keep the original name wasn't worth it. While we disagree with their opposition, we were able to come to an agreement. No matter, post continued, it was something that kept us up many nights and no doubt shifted our focus from our game frequently. Worrying about the outcome if we went to trial, if we lose our fans or walk away from the mark and still potentially get sued for millions on trademark infringement. This is really something no starting company should have to deal with, let alone a tiny team of 3. So the fact that we came out of the other end intact, still developing the game, was a win. Update: ZeniMax is named in the trademark application and subsequent opposition notice. Although we've reached out to the company for comment, there's a precedence for this sort of thing. In 2012, ZeniMax Media settled with Mojang over a dispute involving the name Scrolls after ZeniMax contested Mojang's use of the title, which is trademarked for its Elder Scrolls franchise. The companies came to an agreement. Mojang would license the trademark from ZeniMax for use for one of its own properties. Another trademark claim cropped up in 2015 when a fan project called Fortress Fallout underwent a name change after a legal threat from ZeniMax. The company owns the trademark for Fallout and successfully requested that the creator of the unrelated project abandon its trademark application as a result. Note that unlike what happened with Scrolls and Fortress Fallout, No Matter Studios didn't say that ZeniMax Media sent it a cease and desist notice. This trademark application was simply opposed before making it past the initial filing stage. Pray for the Gods will enter a closed alpha state for Kickstarter backers sometime this year, with a release on PCs, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One due by December 2017. Watch some pre-alpha gameplay below from back when the game was still known by its initial properly spelled title. Update 2, Bethesda Software's Vice President Pete Hines told Polygon that the company didn't have much of a choice in opposing No Matter Studios' trademark request.
No.
If we don't oppose the mark, we risk losing our Prey trademark, and that isn't acceptable, said Hines. Unfortunately, that's how trademark laws work. I mean, he's got a
Yeah, because we own the word prey.
Well,
we invented the word prey.
Well, the thing is, it's what are the kids going to call this when they say, "Hey, man, you got that latest Prey?" And they'll well, which fucking one? The kids are just going to start calling it, that. I mean, it's going to happen.
It's just when you get into crazy things, when you start trying to copyright or trademark common words, it's like there's been so many video games that come out. It's like somebody's probably like overstepping some kind of common word. You know what I mean? It's like, where does it end?
Well, it's an intellectual property. I mean, as long as it would be, as long as it's impossible for you to confuse the two, then I can see that there wouldn't be grounds for them to have to worry about it. But I saw this title and I thought it was Bethesda's Prey, so I didn't fucking know. So the thing is, they don't want grandma to go buy the game for their grandson and then fuck up and get this bullshit that is unrelated. Because that's what, like, when a lot of the no-name Chinese companies come out and make stuff like what we talked about with those shitty movies that come out at the same time, like say Ratatouille came out and they have rat whatever. Like when Cars came out, I had a copy of a movie called Little Cars that they sold at Kmart. That, yes, it was CG, but it was no cars. Literally, someone made a car and they had it run around and its mouth opened, but it didn't. And a sound would come, but it wasn't like it was actually talking. So, yeah, this is not total fuckery. This is makes sense. So,
well, I think I originally read this on a no, and I think like even with the Prey changing it to PRAY, they said it was still too similar or some shit.
Yeah, it's only 4 letters. It's like the word gray.
Yeah.
You can spell it.
So I mean, it's like what can you do though? I mean, you want to be able to use the same word in your thing, but you got a whole different premise of the game. I mean, you do.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that they're a small company going against a big company. Money always wins when it's about licensing and legalese. That's the sadness of how it works.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's probably been a lot of companies that's probably done this type of thing before, but nobody like really noticed. So like,
yeah, if it's
nothing ever became of it,
Well, now in the age of the internet, it's a lot easier to get caught. Back then, a company could make that's actually Full Moon Entertainment, my favorite video company, that made all they made a bunch of movies in the early 90s and late 80s that were VHS, because at the time, if you bought if you went out to rent a movie, you didn't know that movie, another movie cost $10 million to make, and this other movie cost, $30,000, because they look the fucking same in the VHS, till you take the fucker home and you find out it's a turd. And that's what's happening here. They, you don't know. I don't know anything about this game. I've never heard of it. they're banking on you to, that's the problem. The legality is the other company banking on people's ignorance of the subject matter to where they will get confused and it will take away from their profits. So sad to say, yeah.
Well, I just think like all trademark and copyright is like they need to. There's a lot that needs to be done with a lot of work. I think like we've talked about that on the show before.
Uh-huh.
Um, I suppose you always probably should take everything into account, like the IP and the trademark and whatever it's about. You know.
Right. I mean, there's a bunch of steps you got to jump through to be able to get something recognized as your creation. And because you went through the proper channels and steps to do that, you should get the credit where credit is due. You shouldn't just let anybody walk all over you and take your property and do what they want with it.
Yeah.
With like licensing music, for instance, I've read multiple articles where you have to make yourself a licensing company and you literally have to pay, I think it's like a couple dollars a year or something, and you own your own the your written songs. So then you can go, well, I am the publisher, even though I'm not publishing anything just yet. So that way you don't get screwed over. But
Yeah.
a lot of kids don't do that. They just go on SoundCloud, make a couple tracks, and put it out, and then anyone can claim that they wrote it and made it, and
Right.
you won't get any fame or money. So,
Yeah.
but okay, enough of this crap.
Anyways, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, AMD Raven Ridge 3.0
Yes.
gigahertz APU engineering sample with quad Zen cores spotted. Features 704 Vega cores clocked at 800 megahertz. The first engineering sample of AMD's Raven Ridge APUs has leaked out over at the SysSoftware database. The new listing confirms several key details that we have been hearing for months along, with specifications of the desktop-based AM4 processor. AMD Raven Ridge APU sample leaks out, GPU core count increased, Zen cores to boost IPC. While Raven Ridge is still far away from hitting store shelves, there are some details that we know about the next generation of accelerated processing units. AMD will be using the same Ryzen branding.
Right.
With the Raven, it got me fucked up. The Ryzen branding of the Raven Bridge APUs, which is interesting. Yeah, tongue twister. AMD will also feature Ryzen branding across their various mobile and desktop-based CPUs, along with APUs. This includes the current Ryzen 7, Ryzen 5, and the upcoming Ryzen 3, Ryzen Mobile, and Raven Ridge processors. Yeah, so then
Well, it's like the title pretty much is like the whole news article.
right. It's like if you really don't believe it, scroll down and look at some shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, this will be interesting. I mean, for people who can't hold out for Vega, they'll be getting a taste of Vega in an APU if
Yeah.
But I wouldn't touch an APU until the full benchmarks come out and you actually know what you're getting. Because I mean, you can game on an APU; it's not impossible. But what are you going to be able to game? I mean,
Right.
this will be interesting to see because
Well, isn't it pretty much like isn't that what laptops are, or do they have some kind of like really thin GPU that they put in
yeah,
laptops?
yeah, both they'll have a you can have a now you can also get that external GPU like the
Yeah, like the
case that
Shield.
no, I'm talking about
Uh,
the case with just a GPU in it that you plug in through a Thunderbolt to your
yeah, an
laptop.
external GPU.
Yeah, you can get that, and then the laptops. Uh, I believe they have let me laptop.
I go back to the Googles again.
I don't want to spout bullshit and then have the
Right.
you're full of shit, Frank. But yeah, they do have, because I know people say, "Are you going to put a desktop GPU in a fucking laptop?" And you know, I mean, with an external one, yes, you can do that. But yeah, quite sure MSI does it. Um, like it's basically, where's a good picture of one? Well, there's a video for desktop GPU versus laptop, but it's, yeah, thinner. It's like, I mean, see, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard like a fluttering noise. See, here's a
So,
Radeon chip and then graphic memory, but this is, a good example here. It's as low profile as you can get. There's no fucking fans.
right. Hmm.
Um, I don't know what all you can get. I really don't. I don't do laptops because the last couple I had were wastes of time for what I wanted
Yeah.
to do. I'd rather just have a tower, be done with it. I don't travel. The novelty of unfolding it and playing with it wore off as soon as you had to fold it back up to do something else.
Yeah. Every time you probably go and visit your family and stuff, it's like you're not going to be having your nose buried in a laptop anyways. You go there for a purpose, you know.
Well, every time I try to use a mobile device, I end up using my damn phone because it's more convenient and you can put it away faster. A laptop, you got to close the shit down, wait for it to shut off, and close it, or you just fucking hit lock and put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Even with my tablet, I have a tablet for lunch, and half the time I'll sit and drain my phone's battery instead of the tablet.
Right.
But this will be interesting. I'm looking forward to these benchmarks. I mean, everything's been making the rounds on the YouTube, review sites. You can watch everybody. They'll get them all at the same time. They'll all talk about them, and when you watch one, it'll have links to somebody else's shit at the end of the video. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, if you're, especially if you're holding off, like you're holding off on building a Ryzen rig, so it's AM4 processor, so you could put an APU in it if you felt like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if it depends on if it's powerful enough for what you want to do with the 3D graphic, shit and editing. I don't know, but it'd be interesting nonetheless.
Well, I'm not going to be using an APU over my 480. That's for sure.
True, 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 true.
That Vega is whatever that is like, I doubt it would be as strong as the 480 or at least the 580. You know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I imagine that's an imaginary number. If your APU is faster than a 480,
Yeah.
if it is, that'd be badass.
Yeah.
I
Well,
doubt it, but
do you think AMD's gonna go the route of Intel, because doesn't Intel just automatically have an APU in all their uh, CPUs now or something?
they do have integrated graphics in most of them. I can't say whether or not all of them, but I know most of the time. That's a lot of people say, yeah, you can use integrated graphics until you can, like a lot of guys when they're like trying to build their first computer, and if they're not gaming, the guys are like, oh, you can just use the integrated graphics and until you save up and get a video card. And I'm like, unless you're gaming, and then fuck it, you need a video card, especially AMD. You can't, you got to have something.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
for the price of a cheap graphics card, you're all right. I mean, I'd rather have a cheap GPU that I can upgrade than APU that
Yeah.
so.
Actually, I keep forgetting that Intel is technically a third competitor in the GPU market, because they're, I guess you could call them Team Blue, but because you have red, green, and they would be blue, but they just do, yeah, like the integrated and mobile stuff. They really don't try to compete in the desktop cards.
Not for graphics, no.
Yeah,
So
which I wonder if they ever would, or if we would get a third competitor, or if Nvidia would ever start doing their own CPUs, because then it would be all straight battling NVIDIA and AMD, with both.
I don't know. With NVIDIA being so proprietary to where like VSync works on almost any monitor because it's so cheap. Versus G-Sync, they have to license it to be able to put it on the monitor, so they just don't bother. So, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so our third one here. Let me check. I don't know if your things are still out of order. This one is about the NSA one.
yep, an NSA-derived ransomware worm is shutting down computers worldwide. Yeah, they saw this earlier today, and all my coworkers were freaking the fuck out. Well, the older guys were freaking the fuck out. WCRY uses weapons grade exploit published by the NSA leaking shadow brokers. Oh no. A highly
Shit.
virulent new strain of self replicating ransomware shut down computers all over the world, in part by appropriating a national security agency exploit that was publicly released last month by the mysterious group calling itself Shadow Brokers. The malware, known as WannaCry, or WCry, has infected at least 75,000 computers, according to antivirus provider Avast. AV provider Kaspersky Lab said,
Kaspersky.
mm, "Doesn't matter."
No.
The word "sky" is still there, so it could be either one. So anyway, organizations in at least 74 countries have been affected, with Russia being disproportionately affected, followed by Ukraine, India, and Taiwan.
Right.
Infections are also spreading through the United States. The malware is notable for its multilingual ransom demands, which support more than 24 languages. WCry is reportedly causing disruptions in banks, hospitals, telecommunications services, train stations, and other mission critical organizations in multiple countries, including the UK, Spain, Germany, and Turkey. FedEx, the UK government's national health service, and Spanish telecom Telefonica have all been hit. The Spanish CERT has called it a massive ransomware attack that is encrypting all the files of entire networks and spreading laterally through organizations. The viral spreading the virally spreading worm has ultimately stopped when a researcher who uses the Twitter handle malware tech and works for security at firm Cryptos Logic took control of a domain name that was hard coded into the self replicating exploit. The domain registration, which occurred around 6 a.m. California time, was a major stroke of good luck because it was possibly only because the attackers had failed to obtain the address first. The address appeared to serve as a sort of kill switch the attackers could use to terminate the campaign. Malware text registration had the effect of ending the attacks that had started earlier Friday morning in other parts of the world. As a result, the number of infected detections plateaued dramatically in the hours following the registration. It had no effect on WCry infections that were initiated through earlier campaigns. So yeah,
Yep. The second one, if you click on the second one, that one was about uh it hitting like some UK hospitals or something pretty
hospitals
bad.
hospitals across England infected with ransomware, leaving patients without care. England's healthcare system fell victim to a massive cyber attack Friday afternoon, forcing several hospitals to divert emergency patients to other facilities. Ransomware appears to be the cause. At roughly 12:30 p.m. local time, the National Health Services clinical and patient systems began crashing, with pop-up messages appearing on screens demanding $300 in Bitcoin in exchange for access, according to The Guardian. As of 3:30 p.m., 16 NHS affiliates have reported infection. There's no evidence so far that patient records have been accessed, nor does it appear the NHS was purposely targeted. In a statement, NHS Digital said it believed the malware variant is WannaDecryptor, a Trojan virus that employs AES 128 encryption to render files inaccessible.
Yeah. And
That's
that was the big thing with all this is that the hospitals were getting hit, and it's just really crazy to hear that, you know.
well, that's the thing. When I was in college back in '01, and my professor at the time was talking about, we had a worm and they had to quarantine everything and get it taken care of way back in the XP days. He said
Yeah.
that, some kid is, noodling around. That's also what they sell on the radio today. It could be a 13-year-old in his bedroom with nothing better to do. Some kid is going, yeah, I did this. Yeah. Well, okay. You're making the lights turn on and off at somebody's house, and that's cool. But what happens if you hit a fucking hospital and you shut off somebody's
Yeah.
life support? You know,
Yeah, that has some serious repercussions, you know, and that's
it's a dick move, bro.
yeah.
I mean,
I love how they were using the terms a virulent strain. They were using like medical terms
well, it's technically a
for a
virus.
virus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're saying, they're saying it got a lot of people. Did you see Gizmodo was phishing some people in the Trump campaign?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
That was an article I almost put on from Ars Technica. Had Gizmodo basically send a bunch of fish emails to members of the Trump campaign pretending to be friends or family with the Google Doc files, and like what's his name that was just fired from the FBI? He emailed back, well, what's this about? And other people were like, but then they got into it. They said they might face basically. Ars Technica was saying the way they were doing it was almost kind of shady. They were just seeing what kind of what they could do, and basically they're like, they might get charges filed. So especially the way the government is now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's yeah. So yeah,
There's
healthcare and
some
shit is where
upbeat news.
I mean, like I said, this is why I said I wouldn't be surprised if eventually everything goes towards Mac OS or Linux or some kind of Unix based OS that unless you're an Uber hacker, you're not going to be able to get into. Because I mean, I understand you want it to be easy enough to where everyone can use it who has to have access to it, and you want to be able to maintain and purchase new equipment, but if it's going to be accessible to anybody, I mean, anybody can hack Windows at this point. It's not hard to get, Windows shit figured out, and it's
Well,
not as safe as it was.
that's the problem though, is if you're going against the grain, you want on one hand you want to be able to have all the customization in the world with your hardware and shit, but then you want it to be like easy as pie. I mean,
Well, the server
you can't have
people,
both of those really, unless if
well,
you get like a Mac Pro.
the server people have been using Linux for eons because it's the cheapest option. You buy your own hardware and you install Linux, and you get an administrator who can handle it, and you're not dealing with the people. You're just backing up files, in whatever however you do in that environment, and it's a closed walled system. It's not you don't got to worry about it being user friendly. And at this point, I think you got to sacrifice that at some point. You have to make it so the bare functionality of the computer is okay for your employees, but then I think you would have to lock it down to where they can't do anything, and IS has to be the only ones with the keys to be able to get in. Because in this day and age, it's going to have to be. I mean, the fucking White House has guys tweeting their passwords. It's a
Yeah.
scary time. I mean, you want to think we're the best, we can do this, and we gotta show that we got these smarts here. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I mean, you got to think about what's the betterment of the professional level. I mean, like I
Yeah,
said,
like I was telling my dad, like they have like a laptop and a desktop computer, and it's like he's still not that good with it. But I was telling him, like this is because he always complains about the viruses and stuff on there, and I'm telling him like you're technically the administrator of these computers here.
mhm.
You really gotta, if you want all this stuff to work and get the results that you want, you really gotta familiarize yourself with the computer, and you sort of got to get into this stuff because
Tell him,
you
tell him
know,
it's if he owned a shop with a bunch of cars and he's the mechanic, you don't only know how to change the oil and that's it.
yeah,
You got to be able to get under the hood and know what the fuck you're looking at. I mean, I'm not by any means a professional at anything. I've never claimed to be, but I know enough to be able to dig through and find stuff and figure out what the hell I'm doing.
yeah,
And and I know guys that, have become system administrators for stuff, and they, you got to this is going to be, it's not just a private, this is a major corporate level. A lot of people got hit by this, and FedEx got hit by it. They're, they can't afford to have their systems to go down. Like just like the hospitals, they've got frozen deliveries of livers and shit.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I know for a fact they've got, blood specimens and samples coming from one hospital to the next or from pathology labs. I don't want my fucking cancer specimen, sitting in a hub for a whole weekend when I'm waiting for them to find out whether I got, pancreatic cancer. That's fucking stupid because some asshole decided to play around with his computer. So,
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that places like these hospitals and FedEx, it's actually easier to uh because I was watching a documentary or whatever on it. It's actually easier to hack into the electrical grid than those places.
hmm.
The electrical grid is very vulnerable. Like we have to worry about EMP and cyber attacks and stuff.
Hmm.
And like if we just spent like the millions of dollars that we probably spend on useless shit anyways to fortify our electrical grid, it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Well, I mean, it's above my pay grade. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not, I don't do anything, but I'm sure there's stuff that can be done. I mean,
What was it like? I heard the government spent like so much, like hundreds of thousands of dollars just on like some gay animal testing or something.
like literally, or you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like homosexual
Oh,
animals or some kind of sexual thing.
yeah. Whenever they do, when I drive into work in the morning and they have a section with the stupid news, and it's always there's a new study about what in your profile picture on your dating app, what's more likely to have people like it, and it's like when I see this bullshit, I wonder, no, take all these studies and put all that money towards finding a cure for cancer because this is a waste of time.
Yeah,
But anyway,
we
enough
can
about this.
rant all we want about this, but we do have a time limit.
And at the end of the day, we're not in charge of anything. We're two assholes on the internet.
Yeah,
So let's get on to your last story here. Scientists finally know what makes these weird glass droplets so incredibly strong.
yeah, they called Prince Rupert drops.
No, sir, that's a sperm. That's that's Dr. Manhattan's sperm right there is what that is. Something unusual happens when a drop of molten glass falls into water. As it cools, it creates a crystal clear tadpole like droplet that's bulletproof on one end but impossibly fragile on the other. We've known about these droplets for 400 years, but scientists have only recently figured out what makes them almost indestructible. In a video posted just a few weeks ago, Smart Everyday's Destin Sandlin fired a 22 Magnum bullet with a full metal jacket at a Prince Rupert's drop, so named after German's Prince Rupert gifted 5 of the unusual glass objects to England's King Charles II back in 1661. The baffling results of that experiment with the bullet uh, disintegrated as it collides with the thicker end of the glass teardrop are no longer a mystery. Making a Prince Rupert's drop is easy. You just need to melt a glass with a high thermal expansion coefficient, glass that expands when heated, like soda, lime, or leaded glass, and then drop a molten blob of it into a container of cold water, which immediately cools it down in a process known as quenching. That's where all the magic happens. As the drop quickly cools, its outer layer experiences a temperature drop faster than its interior, which results in extreme compressive forces, on the outside, but strong tensile pulsing stresses on the inside. These forces work together to give the Prince Rupert's drop its incredible strength. These inner tensile forces are usually what makes glass so fragile, but the compressive forces on the outside counteract what's happening inside to make it all but impossible for cracks to grow where the head of the glass is hammered or even shot with a bullet.
Yeah, I saw the slow mo footage on YouTube of him doing that shit, and it's crazy because the bullet hits it, and the bullet like gets shredded into pieces.
Like this. Pew, pew, pew. One more time. Okay. So,
Yeah, it was just something interesting because I was watching that recently, and they finally came out with a news article about it. So
wow. Huh. Well, what do you fucking know? That's interesting.
anyways,
You want to see my story, sir?
what do you have of interest here?
Well, the FCC temporarily stops taking net neutrality complaint or comments so FCC can reflect. Well, let's be quite clear here. This is not some crazy new thing that the FCC is doing, but it's important for members of the public to understand what's happening. As lots of people have been commenting, some of them are fake, on the FCC's proposed plan to roll back net neutrality, the FCC will temporarily be shutting down the ability to comment. This is not in response to the fake comments, nor is it in response to the site being overwhelmed. Whether by John Oliver or Snort, random DDoS attacks that no one else can see, rather, it's to give the FCC a moment of peaceful reflection. No, really. Under the Commission's long-standing rules that apply to blah, 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 apparently the geniuses at the FCC don't know how to just not read the incoming comments for a few days. Imagine if other businesses put up signs that said, "Please, no emails. I need a period of repose to reflect on upcoming business." Most people would think that's crazy. Look, if the FCC wants time alone, it's either just stop looking at the comments for a few days or build a system that holds the comments in transit until the sunshine period is up. So, yeah, there's an article, but I mean,
Whenever I think of FCC guys, I always think about that EPA guy from the first Ghostbusters movie.
Also have this article. Microsoft wins patent for augmented reality glasses that will tell you to stop eating. In the image here, click on it, see if it does it take you to a bigger one. Of course not. There's a picture of glasses, and inside there's a picture of a hamburger, sorry, cheeseburger, and it says, "This is your second big meal today. Are you sure you want to do that?" Fuck you is all I gotta say to the glasses. Microsoft yesterday revealed a patent for augmented reality glasses that act as the little voice telling you not to eat their third slice of pizza. The glasses would, according to the patent, have sensors that can identify food that the user is looking at and relay nutritional information either from a restaurant, food company, or other source. Based on the user's actions, the glasses know how much is being eaten. For example, if the glasses see a full plate of food and watch the user pick up food, it listens at,
Oh,
it's chewed.
oh,
If it later sees only half the plate, the device
oh.
will assume the user has eaten part of the meal and track that information accordingly. Glasses are able to track consumption over time, so when users have already had a big meal that day, the device can warn them later that they might be running up against the calorie limits for the day. Fuck you, Microsoft. Basically, I think if you can afford some fucking thing to sit there and go, you don't need that, don't eat that. You could just buy your fucking meals for the week and eat that, because that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't eat myself. I eat a decent breakfast and then just a normal dinner. You know.
No, no, no. You have a shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, and then a sensible dinner.
Oh God. Yeah,
So,
my parents did that shit. They
did they
felt.
have the shits?
Yeah.
Okay. And I got one more story, sir. Since I told you about the whole interest in audio thing, MP3 is dead. Long live AAC. Its creators have abandoned licenses to the format, signing its death sentence. MP3, the format that revolutionized the way we consume and steal music since the 1990s, have been officially retired in a manner of speaking. The German Research institution that created the format, the Fraunhofer Institute of Integrated Circuits, announced that it had terminated licensing for the certain MP3 related patents. In other words, they didn't want to keep it on life support because there are better ways to store music in the year 2017. Rest now forever, MP3. In its place, the director of the Fraunhofer Institute told NPR the advanced audio coding AAC format has become the de facto standard for music download and videos on mobile phones. It's simply more efficient and has greater functionality as streaming TV and radio broadcasting use the format to deliver higher quality audio at lower bit rates than MP3. Basic research in audio encoding began at the Friedrich Alexander University of Erlangen, Nuremberg in the late 1980s. Researchers there and from the Fraunhofer Institute joined forces, and their result was the humble MP3 standard. The format takes up 10% of the storage space of the original file, a monumental reduction at the time. According to Stephen Witt's book, How Music Got Free, corporate sabotage and other failures almost stonewalled the MP3 into irrelevancy. Finally, Fraunhofer uh, just started giving away software consumers could use could use to rip songs. Oh, software consumers could use to rip songs from compact disc to MP3 files on their home computer. After which the format took off. Yeah. By the end of the 1990s, however, those tiny files were zipping around the uh, nascent internet, spawning a gold rush of digital piracy. It ruled illegal sharing for years as sites like Napster and Kazaa hosted popular peer to peer services, allowing folks to download songs with a click. Of course, the format also enabled development of the legal side of the aisle as online vendors scrambled to lawfully meet the connected public's need for digitally acquired music. Apple's iTunes Store dominated that market, which funneled music into their answer to the MP3 player market, the iPod. Apple users, Apple gave the users the option to of using AAC almost from the start, and that format has proven the eventual successor. But MP3 deserves its place in history for enabling casual users to experience the first time the internet's true, if dubiously legal, potential for exchanging data.
Yeah, that's crazy because like that when you start switching things over, it's like MP3 is pretty much like an infrastructure for audio now. I mean, it's like everything is using MP3s right now.
Well, like I
Like,
said, in the audiophile world, if you really if you want lossless quality and you don't care about file size, then sure you'll do a FLAC or a complete lossless
OG.
rip. Yeah, those things. Um, the problem with that is you got to go for compatibility and what will play. If you're just playing it at home, VLC will handle a lot of stuff, and other players are free. So
Yeah.
that's not the issue. MP3s, like they said, it became really big in the 90s when they were like, I remember when Real Player was the thing because people would watch entire episodes of South Park on Real Player and go, you can watch an entire episode. And I'm like, and it looks like shit.
Yeah.
Like, it looked worse than, remember when YouTube first came out and it was so pixelated and fuzzy and you couldn't tell what the fuck you were looking at? That's what it was like. And then these came around and we're like, oh my God, it's a CD. and then you burned it, and yeah, it was the exact same fucking thing. So
what is this supposed to be like? How Flash is getting
well,
phased out? You know?
the license is expired for it, so it's not quite abandonware, but it's the license has run out. They're not going to support it. Other ways to come out are going to be better, faster, and probably cheaper.
Well, what does it mean supporting? I mean, like it's not going to be illegal for you to play MP3s, then, is it?
No, no, but they're like okay. When you say you download uh a media player uh from say like I have a Windows Media Player. Natively, it doesn't have the encoding for MP3. You have to go in and download that. I think it was Windows Media Player. It's some media player I downloaded. I can't remember which one. You had to go in like Handbrake to encode certain formats. You had to go in to download the. I think Fubar was one of them to be able to play MP3s. Uh, and now with the licensing not being there, they're going to be able to bundle it with the stuff because they don't give a fuck anymore. It's not private, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you get a new computer, oh, but it didn't install Flash because they don't have the rights to distribute Flash. Well, Flash stopped, Adobe stops, licensing Flash, and then they can bundle it because who gives a shit? And then eventually it's going to stop working. So for now, I mean, I don't think they're gonna have problems playing older formats for a while. I mean, we still buy vinyl and play it. It's just it's gonna be what you're gonna be able to buy versus like if you take a CD at home, you're probably still gonna be able to rip it to MP3. I'm assuming, especially if it's
Yeah.
if the software is unlicensed and free. But as far as buying new music, the standard is gonna change, and that's what I think is gonna happen. You're not gonna buy an MP3. It's gonna be an AAC or whatever, and that's all that's gonna be. Hopefully, it's bigger and better things. So not just different
Yeah.
things.
I remember I forget what the name of it and who it was, but I remember on Howard Stern there was like the celebrity that came on and he like invented this. It's sort of like an MP3 player type of thing that has like some kind of really proprietary like format that plays like a certain amount of tracks or something that's like supposed to be like the best quality you could get. Like you can't play the things on the computer or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, there's a bunch like certain a lot of manufacturers in the like I said the audiophile field. They make their own proprietary stuff like headphone amps and DACs. Like if you're really nuts about it, you can buy a separate DAC for your phone and plug that into the charger port, and you don't have to use your phone's DAC at all, and then a separate headphone amp and drive whatever headphones you want. Um,
Yeah.
and they also make their own digital audio player or a DAP. Those are just if you think like the Zune versus the iPod, but
Right.
I mean not as bad because whereas um, Microsoft made other devices and then it made the Zune, the audio guys only make fucking audio stuff. So technically, it's going to be the best they can offer, but that's not going to say it's going to be the best of what people want. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's why I watch all the YouTube guys do the reviews. They're like, I understand what they're doing, but it's fucking stupid because this, and you'll understand. Versus, it might be the simplest thing, but it'll be really smart. Like go to my application want to share. Like here, I looked up a digital audio player. If you don't, you don't just want an iPod. Um, depends on what codec you want and all that. Plus, it can have its own DAC built in. That's going to be really good. This one here
Yeah.
is Pioneer. You know Pioneer Sound.
Yeah.
Pioneer Electronics. They're not a no-name company. $700. I mean,
Right.
$600 here from Astel and Kern, which I've heard of. You could get this little device here, um, and then put whatever headphones you get, and see there's all the different codecs like AAC, like they said, advanced audio, a lossy codec, okay, um, ALAC, Apple lossless, uh, APE, a free, very efficient lossless codec, APT, DSD, I've heard of that, direct streaming digital, FLAC, free lossless audio codec,
Quack.
MQA, which FLAC, I started to think I would like it, but then when I started downloading stuff and storing my music files on an external drive at the time, when I paid $100 something for 500 gig, I was like, well, I'm not gonna buy 3 albums, have it take up the whole fucking hard drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So MP3,
Well,
or OGG Orbis,
yeah.
WMA Windows Media Audio, WMAL Windows Media Lossless user interface. Look, it's like it's an Android device right there.
Right.
Uh,
What I tend to shy like for video formats and stuff. I still kind of shy away from the MKV just because of the device support still with it,
uh,
because there's still like a lot of devices that don't like it, and
yeah,
it's I just like I like having MP4 for my video and MP3 for my audio. It's like simple.
right. Oh,
But
my computer is asking me, do I want to restart? That's not good.
what got updated?
I don't know. I didn't do anything. It just popped up. We'll restart your device outside of active hours. How do you know when I'm active, motherfuckers?
uh,
Well,
well, it's just cool all the audio stuff. Like I'm not an audiophile, but I can see how people could get into that stuff because like look, I'm doing a whole show. I have it hosted on my computer, but I'm doing everything through my mixer, doing sound effects from my phone going into the mixer and my headsets going into it. I mean,
right. You're not a stranger to the world of audio technology.
no, and I'm just using uh, low grade stuff. Like my mixer was just $50.
Yeah, well, you're just running a one room studio. You don't actually have a recording studio in your house where
Yeah,
you have a band playing over here and a mixing board over there, and then
yeah,
you have to run XLR because it's going to be 30 feet. You know,
right.
so I mean, I'm
But I just recommend it because like even if you don't use it for like yourself, you would never use it. You say because you're not doing like a whole band or whatever. It's still just still say it's nice to have the option.
uh,
You know.
I mean, you can cut corners with anything anywhere. I mean, it's all what you want and what I mean, like what you want to spend money on and what you think you need. You can do the cheap route first as long as you don't end up creating more work for yourself and or spending more money in the long run.
Yeah, right, right.
If you can get by with a cable splitter that's $6 that does the same fucking my cable for my guitar, it ends with a USB and it has a 1/4 inch on the other end. That was I think the most I paid was $12, and that's for my guitar. That's done exactly what I need it to do. You know, my microphone. I mean, I plug straight into my microphone in on my IO, and I have a power microphone. But I mean, if I had a different microphone that didn't need power, like what do they call those? Oh, I can't even fucking remember. This is a phantom powered condenser microphone. What are the other kind that are not powered? Uh, I don't know.
Uh,
Anyway, if I had one of those cheapies, I'd be okay. I could run
yeah.
these splitter. I could actually run the head. There's an inline mic here, but it sucks. I don't want to do that. I've got a full microphone right here, so
Did I tell you about my cable initiative from like my wires and stuff?
Vaguely, I think I remember. What's up?
Well, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna develop. I'm gonna start making a couple cables. I'm gonna do a test cable first, but
Mhm.
uh, I guess supposedly you can, and it should be able to work. I'm gonna use 6-pin DIN plugs,
Mhm.
uh, cables with these types of plugs at the ends. They're pretty much just like mouse PS2 plugs.
Okay.
But since it has 6 pins, you could use uh, two separate stereo. Uh, like you could either do back and forth with it for a microphone and headset because with this type of lavalier mic, it needs its own ground cable. So you have to have two ground cables in uh, there, one for your the hearing, and then the other for the mic, and then the channels for the mic and the channels for the headset. So you could do that, or if you wanted, you can pipe in. You could use 5 of the pins for an RGBW LEDs, or you can actually use for analog. You could go from the red, green, and blue, and the audio. Like the component for
Mhm.
video.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know why you would want to do that because you just use HDMI, but it's nice to have, or you just plug a mouse in there. It's sort of like a universal type of cable, and then you can make uh, like different like adapters for it going to like the LEDs or whatever
Uh-huh.
type of thing that you want. I think a lot of people use you could use XLR cables for lighting and stuff like the DJ lighting and stuff. But it's like this would be a lot smaller. Like it's not as heavy duty as XLR. Then
Mhm.
it. But I think it's a cool idea for an analog cable. Like a universal analog cable.
Hmm. Cool.
Yeah, and I was gonna do that for all the wiring in my desk. So like, and then probably have like 4 of those going through my desk. So if I wanted to need like an extension for like an older keyboard, or if I wanted to have lighting pass through my desk or something, it's just like I'd like to have you. I think there should be developments in like just cables, just making everything universal. Like, why not have everything just be Lightning or USB C or something? It's just data passing through everything. Why do you need to have separate cables?
Hmm. Hmm.
I I guess there's separate cables because each company wants to make their own money. I guess.
Right. Well, money, money, money.
Yeah.
Well,
I know they have HDMI cables where it can actually pass, like your Ethernet and like USB shit through that or something. I don't know.
uh, huh. Well, I think we've got to the point where we could call this episode. What do you say?
Yeah, we're about what is it, like a little bit over 2 hours? That's not too bad.
We got all our news articles out, and
Yeah.
so if you stayed with us this long, sorry,
Oh
but
yeah, I did want to mention something else too.
yes.
If like I said, this is gonna be episode 39, so I'm gonna try to update the episodes between this. But if there is times where like we go weeks and stuff without there being a show, like check on Frank's channel too, because he could have needed to host a channel for some reason. Also because he has a couple episodes on there, so check with him sometimes too.
All righty, that sounds good. I emailed you the news
Check out my
links.
Tumblr.
Yeah, check out
Check
my
out my
Tumblr.
Tumblr.
I emailed you the news links and all that, so you can share them in the whatever.
Yeah,
And,
will do, man.
we'll on behalf of Ian and Ben, who couldn't be here because he's doing date night with his lady friend.
Still doing date night, huh?
I guess I don't know. We'll catch y'all the next one.
Yep. Keep on keeping on. Shut Ahsoka.
Boobs. Boobs.
Ass and titties. Ass, titties, titties.
Boobs.